We're reacting to the death of Lisa Marie Presley.
It just broke that Lisa Marie passed away at age 54 in Calabasas, California. She had suffered a cardiac arrest and passed away.
And one of the reasons that we wanted to jump on and talk about, a little bit about this and react to the death of Lisa Marie Presley is because we've actually done quite a few videos on Elvis Presley. You know a fair amount. I wouldn't call you an Elvis Presley historian, but you know a lot about him.
So it's not, you probably be like, well, why are they talking about Elvis Presley? It's because we lived in Memphis for 3 years. I got my master's degree at the University of Memphis. And you're like, well, what does that mean? It means if you live in Memphis, Tennessee, you know Elvis Presley. You cannot get away from Elvis Presley in Memphis, Tennessee.
And it's one of those things too. And there's a lot of Elvis fans out there. There's lots of Elvis fans out there.
Amazing. I was there for the 40th anniversary of his death.
That's right.
And they shut down the street and it was packed. And I talk about this, I think, in one of our podcasts, but most everyone was not from America.
Yeah.
I asked a lot of questions, and Elvis has a major influence on people's lives. Not only that, but his daughter and Austin Butler just won the Golden Globe.
And Lisa Marie Presley was literally just there at the Golden Globes. They were showing her the entire time.
Yeah. And she was reacting to Austin Butler winning.
And one of the things that I always thought was so interesting when we were living in Memphis, right? And we would go visit Graceland. And one of the things you learned about Graceland, you talk about on one of our videos, is that Lisa Marie would actually go to Graceland sometimes during the holidays. The public was not allowed to go upstairs.
Yep.
At Graceland. So if you go and visit Graceland, you're only doing downstairs and all of the others kind of surrounding.
You cannot go on the second
they have set up.
Floor.
And so at Graceland, you can't go on the second floor. And that's because it was still a family area.
It was still her private residence.
And she would go up there for occasionally coming to town for holidays or something like that,
or
and actually stay there.
She was just in Memphis for his birthday.
Yep.
Because his birthday was just January 8th. And she was there. She cut the cake. And she took pictures with fans. And she usually does stay on the second floor. The second floor is her bedroom, the office, and Elvis's bedroom. And it has been kept in a living situation since Elvis passed. And so she would visit and stay up there. She's used the house. As you probably saw, I think she had dinner with different people. She uses it during the holidays. And it's still her residence. Lisa Marie, Elvis Presley Enterprises owns all the land and all the other museums now, and the amphitheater and the restaurant and the Lisa Marie plane and Hound Dog. So there's the Lisa Marie plane and then the Hound Dog, the little plane. But she owns the house.
Yeah.
And so now the house will go to her daughter. Her daughter played the wife in that movie that we just saw with Chris Pratt, The Terminal List.
Oh,
that's her daughter. That's her daughter. Lisa Marie's daughter plays the wife in that.
The Terminal List. It's on Amazon Prime or something like that.
Yes, that's Lisa Marie's daughter. She will now inherit Graceland. She's the oldest.
Oh, wow.
And Lisa Marie also has twin daughters that are younger. And she had a son who has passed. And if you watch our video on YouTube on Walk with History, he's buried in the meditation garden with Elvis and his parents and his grandmother.
Do you think that they'll bury Lisa Marie there next to her father?
Yeah, 100%.
Wow. That's just wild to think about. And one of the things, again, we'll kind of step back a little bit and talk about some of what we learned about Elvis Presley, right? Some of his family history. We have kind of another podcast channel, and on that channel, our most popular video is a movie about you reviewing the movie. Because
like I said, I have a master's degree from the University of Memphis. I have been to Graceland so many times. I can't even tell you how many times I've been to Graceland. We saw Graceland before they redid it for the 40th anniversary of his death.
Yep.
After they redid it for the 40th anniversary of his death. We went there when nobody was there. Remember we went for my birthday?
Yeah, it was so that's December.
Right? But before the 40th anniversary, before they redid everything.
Yeah.
And it was nobody was around. It's we had the whole place to ourselves. If you look at my pictures, it's I'm welcoming you to Graceland. And before the 40th anniversary of his death, they bought all the property around it and built all these big museums.
Yeah,
And
and so going back,
made it more
one of the things that
commercial.
we covered in our videos about Graceland and about Elvis, and people are wondering like, oh, did he build this whole thing for himself? And people don't know the history of Graceland. So Graceland had actually been a mansion that was around for quite some time.
Yeah, and it's not named after Elvis's mom, Gladys. It's named after a socialite in the 1920s named Grace Toof.
Yeah.
And if you watch our video, I go to her grave at the end of that Walk with History video. But Lisa Marie, she's born there. Like, her parents get married in 1967 and she's born in 1968. It's funny because Priscilla always said it's like 9 months from the time our wedding date to Lisa Marie's birth. It's like she had no real like honeymoon phase.
Right.
It was like I got married and I had Lisa Marie 9 months later. So Lisa Marie, if you ever go to Graceland, her playground was still in the backyard, remember?
Yeah, that's right.
And her horses were there. I mean, that was her home. And now to think about where she's going to be buried there, and now that her daughter will own it, like I told you, this is a private residence. Her daughter might decide not to show it.
Sure.
Her daughter might decide to close it. Graceland's the second most visited home in the United States behind the White House.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
And what was so interesting too, when you were there for the 40th anniversary of Elvis's death, you were there at Graceland because every year they have Elvis Week in Memphis. If you've never been to Memphis, right? If you're an Elvis fan, that's a great time to go to Memphis, is Elvis Week. And it's typically the week prior
to his death, August 16th. So that whole week before August 16th.
And we lived in the Memphis area. We lived in Memphis from 2016 to 2019.
Mm-hmm.
So we were there for the 40th anniversary, and you went out there.
I went out there.
And it was, but because when did he pass?
1977, the year I was born.
What it was like October,
August 16th, 1977.
So if you've ever been to the South, and Memphis is the South, in the summer, it's hot.
Yeah.
It is so hot there.
It was
and so
hot.
I mean, think about it. You're in the Mississippi Delta there. I mean, you're just across the border, right, from Mississippi.
It's hot.
So you were out there, and it was hot at Graceland on the 40th anniversary of his death.
I drank 3 bottles of water at night because I went there at nighttime. Like I said, they shut down the whole street. I wonder now if we'll do something for Lisa Marie.
It's very possible.
Because her father's birthday was the 8th. Now she's past the 12th. I wonder if this will be a week, right? Now in Memphis, there'll be like Elvis's birthday and then Lisa Marie's death. Lisa Marie, when I did the 40th anniversary of the passing of Elvis Presley, and they shut down Elvis Presley Boulevard, which is that huge street in front of Graceland, and the people make shrines to Elvis. She lit candles. Her and Priscilla were there, and she had a torch. And I think it's close to like 10 p.m. about the time they feel Elvis might have passed.
Yeah.
They light candles and you can walk up to his grave. You walk the road. If you watch our video, I'd walk the road for you up to the meditation garden where he is buried. Lisa Marie lit candles for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Everybody who was there. And this is while her son was still alive.
Yeah, she was out there with her son.
Mm-hmm.
Now, were you there while she was there?
I was there while she was there. I told myself, I'm not standing in that line.
Yeah.
But people feel so connected to that family. Like I told you.
Well, and one of the things I loved when you were there on the anniversary of Elvis's passing, and Lisa Marie is out there lighting candles, you actually went around and talked to people.
Oh, I interviewed tons of people because I wanted to know why you're here.
Why are you here? Why is Elvis important to you?
These are people of our lives. That's why we're talking about her on Walk with History, because she is a historic figure. Lisa Marie is a historic figure, just like Priscilla Presley, just like Elvis Presley. And her passing is so, at 54 years old, it's amazing to me. Like, it really is. It's heartbreaking.
Elvis is such not only like a historic figure, but in his era, I mean, he was it. He was larger than life.
Yeah.
The first person to do a global broadcast.
Yes.
Right? First one ever.
Global broadcast.
And
I always talk about my love of Elvis Presley I love his music, but what I love most about Elvis Presley, and they do a very good job of honoring this in the museum, is his philanthropy.
Yeah.
That man, like we have and Lisa Marie was the same way. That's why I think she opened the home to the public, is she knew how much people loved her father.
Well, and we talk about, his philanthropy.
The Pearl Harbor Memorial.
The Pearl Harbor Memorial.
We have the Pearl Harbor Memorial because of Elvis Presley.
That's right.
They could not raise the funds for it. He went out to Hawaii, did a full concert, took no money, and all the money went to build the Pearl Harbor Memorial. I mean, it gets me every time, because that to me is just a person who really loves people and wants to give back, and that's who Elvis was. And I think his daughter took a lot of that from him, because he was always, like I said, if he was buying a Cadillac, he'd buy someone else a Cadillac. If he was, he would buy out the movies so he could go to the movies, and he would see people standing. You want to go to the movies too? Come on, let's go to the movies too. When we lived in Memphis, everybody had a personal Elvis Presley story. They either played football with him on his front lawn, or they helped made an outfit for him that he performed at the fair. Somebody dated him. He went to the local high school there, so people knew him. And Lisa Marie, I think, saw a lot of that. And it always kind of got me when Elvis passed and Lisa Marie was there at the funeral, how most people were concerned about everybody else and not about her. I think Priscilla was very concerned about her, but I always thought about Lisa Marie and her father, and how much that is going to impact her for the rest of her life. I mean, she's gone at 54, and here's a woman who, by her own right, is so historically significant, and married to Michael Jackson, married to Nicolas Cage, right? Making music, opening this home up to people. Yet she made time to be at her dad's birthday. It's his 88th birthday that just happened. She made time to be at his death anniversaries. She was just at the Golden Globes. Like, it's just so amazing to me that, and I'm so glad that movie won.
Yeah.
Really, because we saw that movie.
Well, and yes, because we've done a lot of Elvis history.
We react to the Elvis movie. We let you know fact or fiction. I have a master's degree of American history from the University of Memphis. I didn't study Elvis Presley, but you're immersed in Elvis culture and history if you live in Memphis, Tennessee. And I have been to Graceland more times than I can count, Tupelo, and done so many tours of Sun Studio. We just lived Elvis history.
That's right.
Moving there, one of the first things I noticed, and I told you this, is everyone had this personal Elvis Presley story.
Yeah. So you actually met some people was this at the 40th anniversary of his passing during Elvis Week?
No, I was at dinner sitting beside some people.
You met random people that like babysat for him.
Yes. Played football with him on his front lawn.
Someone that didn't they go to prom with?
Yes.
Someone that went to prom with him?
Went to prom with him. His sister
crazy.
Went to prom with him. Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the neat things about living in Memphis for a couple years, and especially you being a historian.
I immersed myself in it because we were there during the 50th anniversary of the Martin Luther King assassination. He was assassinated in Memphis, Tennessee. Yep. And we were there for the 40th anniversary of Elvis Presley's passing. And both times I asked people, why are you here? What did he mean to you? What's the significance of the impact on your life? And for Elvis Presley, people they resonated with him.
Yeah.
He talked to them. He spoke to them. His music talked to them. I always say Elvis Presley is the quintessential American dream story because he's born into poverty in Tupelo. If you saw the movie Elvis, they do a pretty good job of showing you this. And then comes to Memphis, goes to high school, makes a record for his mother at the local recording studio, asked to come back and play some music. And they're about to, close up and he starts to sing "That's All Right, Mama," and he starts to sing it kind of faster, and they record it. And then they play it at the local DJ in Memphis, and Dewey Phillips, and he plays it like over and over and over again. And he's the quintessential American dream story. from there, stardom hits and movies. And like you said, first ever global live broadcast.
Yeah.
It makes a great comeback in 1968. And his daughter, I think people felt like a celebrity family.
People in the chat here are saying, "Hey, we felt like Lisa Marie was part of our family. They felt close to her."
Well, of course you would feel that way. You saw him marry Priscilla in 1967 in Vegas. That was shown on TV. That was televised. And then Lisa Marie is born 9 months later.
Yeah.
And that's also recorded by the media. And you feel like she's your child. I mean, she's very much a part of media. And then even with the breakdown of the Presley marriage, you see Elvis's devotion to his daughter. Like she is the most important thing in his life. Like if you ever went to Graceland, to the upstairs where you cannot go, not open to the public, is Elvis's bedroom, Elvis's office, and Lisa Marie's bedroom. Those are the 3 rooms upstairs. And Lisa Marie has kept that as a private residence. And she protected that. She protected their lives, their private lives there. So what will happen now to Graceland? I don't know. What will happen? Like I told you, the daughter of Lisa Marie, who was in the terminal list with Chris Pratt, she plays his wife. She would most than likely now inherit Graceland, because Graceland, the house, is the one place that stays in the family. Now the house will probably be inherited by her daughter. It's so hard to talk about. She's 50. Yeah. I just saw her on the Golden Globes.
Yeah, and I, when Jen loves the Golden Globes, right? Yeah. So that's always a night for her. The Oscars are a night for her. She's cheering for everybody. She's cheering for all the people that she likes. She's cheering for Brad Pitt, right? Regardless of whether or not he's up for a Golden Globe. And I remember kind of watching Austin Butler, because he's the one who has all this buzz, right? That his performance in Elvis was truly incredible. You could kind of hear a little bit of that leftover Elvis in his voice. And I don't know if that's just Austin Butler being out there in the public kind of talking about this for so much. But even I think it was an interview where you told me that Lisa Marie commented on his performance, and she just thought, she commented on like how well he did, how she really thought that he captured her father. And I saw, that was one thing that caught my eye when I was watching the Golden Globes, and he was up there and won. And he's thanking all these people, and then he turns and he thanks Lisa Marie.
Yes.
And you could tell she was just so emotional.
Yes.
She was so emotional. And it must have been, I actually wondered in my head, I was like, I wonder if she hears a bit of her father standing up there on that stage, accepting this award. And it was just really interesting to me, because I could see it. And I am just kind of watching out of the corner of my eye. That's what I do in our house, right? And I kind of watch out of the corner of my eye. I watch for the funny bits of the Golden Globes or whatever like that. I don't really care about the red carpet or the dresses or anything like that.
I know.
As entertaining as some of the interviewers are, but watching, Austin Butler up there, and the cameras, training on Lisa Marie, and Austin Butler, he won the Golden Globe for Best Actor.
I get teary-eyed, because he said, "Thank you, Lisa Marie. Thank you, Elvis Presley."
Right.
And like Elvis still to this day has such a pull.
People are passionate about Elvis.
Authenticness of him, right? Yeah. Because the thing about Elvis Presley was the authenticness of him. I don't think there was no agenda.
Yeah.
He's not trying to sell all these records. He's not trying to influence rock and roll. He just is those things. Lisa Marie had to share her father with all these people and then lose him so early.
Yeah.
That, and I think she was very appreciative of people who loved her dad, because like I said, she was there for the 40th anniversary. She was lighting those candles. She was just at Graceland for his birthday. She's there at the Golden Globes supporting his movie. I think she was always trying to find that connection again to her father, and now to pass so young. I mean, cardiac arrest, 54 years old.
Probably
in the meditation
now
garden.
Be buried in the meditation
garden.
Her
son is there.
Next to her
Benjamin.
son and next to her father. And there's other people saying, that now she's going to be with her father.
Elvis is buried between his parents. Benjamin, if you watch our video, I show you in the meditation garden. The meditation garden where Elvis is buried with his family is open every morning to the general public. So you don't have to buy a ticket to Graceland if you want to go visit Elvis's grave. And it's open early. What is it, like 8:30 a.m., 7:30 a.m. to 8:30?
Yeah,
Super
I think
early
you
for
said
1
that.
hour.
Yeah, for 1 hour you can kind of walk up and visit the meditation
Yes,
garden.
and so Elvis is buried between his parents. His grandmother is there. Benjamin, his grandson, is there. Lisa Marie's son, who passed not too long ago, and then a little memorial to Elvis's twin brother, who they're not ever sure where he was buried. So I don't know what they'll do. I don't know if they'll move one of the parents so could be
Oh,
beside her
I'm not
father.
sure. Yeah.
I don't know. If you look at our video, you can see the area is kind of tight anyway. I don't know if they'll maybe move out some of the wall. So Elvis Presley wasn't originally buried at Graceland. He was originally buried in the local cemetery, I think Forest Hill out in town. But within a week, people were trying to break into his grave. So his father, Vernon, decided to move his grave to Graceland for more protection.
And if I remember right, that's where the angel that's in the meditation garden, did they bring that over?
Yes. So those are the things. Elvis's mother was in Forest Hill, and when they moved Elvis to the meditation garden, they moved his mother to the meditation garden. And the big cross you see, and if you watch our video of the angel, that was all the Presley tombstone or monument in the cemetery. So they brought all of that to the meditation garden. Now that would be a good location, for Lisa Marie. There is definitely space, but to be beside her father, they would have to move some things around.
If you didn't know, he's responsible for the Pearl Harbor Memorial in
Elvis Presley
in Hawaii. So that's the concert that he put on, all the proceeds from that.
But I think Lisa Marie, that really, she felt like a person of the people. Her father belonged to the people. She was a person of the people. But we just wanted to get on and just kind of be here. If we will probably cover Lisa Marie. We will probably cover Graceland further down. But we thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
If you're overwhelmed like we are, we just wanted to reach out and
we just kind of wanted to put a little, put our face on it. And this is our reaction. Us kind of remembering not just Elvis, but obviously Lisa Marie and the part that she played in Elvis's life and
keeping his story alive.
And thank
you for keeping his story for all of us, because we were not alive during Elvis's life, yet he impacts our life today.
Yeah.
And it's because she keeps his story alive. I would say Priscilla does too, but Lisa Marie has the final say on that, or she did. Now her daughter will have the final say on that, but they keep his story alive. And for that, we're grateful, and we were grateful for her, and we just want to remember her. If you want to see, like I said, if you want to see Graceland, if you want to see the meditation garden, the whole premise of our channel is we take you to the location. And we have been to Graceland. There is a video of it if you'd like to see it. And this will probably be what it looks like before Lisa Marie will be there as well.
Yeah, we'll keep their family in our prayers, and we'll keep them in our thoughts. And I'm sure there's lots and lots of people that will never forget everything that they can kind of contributed to our culture, to pop culture, to American history.
Yeah, so thank you for your life, Lisa Marie. And thank you for keeping your father's memory alive for all of us.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And
God bless.
We hope you guys have a good rest of the evening, and hug a loved one.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to the Talk with History podcast. And please reach out to us at our website, talkwithhistory.com. But more importantly, if you know someone else that might enjoy this podcast, please share this with them, especially if you think that today's topic would interest a friend. Shoot them a text and tell them to look up the Talk with History podcast, because we rely on you, our community, to grow, and we appreciate you all every day. We'll talk to you next time.
Thank you.